Welcome to Love Leaders Unite. Welcome, welcome. How are you feeling? Most importantly, oh my goodness, what a time. Hi, Blanche from the UK, Tatiana. Lee is here. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you doing? How are we doing? Little more centered, feeling great. Crazy times, man. Shift. Grateful. Big meltdown. A lot. Waking up. Mixture of panic and peace. Out of balance. Yeah. Pulled in a lot of directions. Anxious and blessed at the same time. How are you feeling? Centered, quickening, happy heart and grateful for you. Wow, there is so many colors of the rainbow of mixed emotion during this time. Waves of emotion, grateful, nervous, blessed, but fear has been attacking, calm, reflective, taking it day by day. So I want to start off by saying thank you for being here at this time. And thank you to everyone who participated on last week's live Love Leaders Unite session. My intention is really just to create a space of collaboration and a safe space for us to connect. And whatever shows up in this space will be divinely channeled. And I'm so grateful for this time and space and to be with you. And also I'm so grateful for the questions that you wrote in. And I want to start off by reading one of them and really opening up this space for a conversation about what we're all feeling right now in this awakening process. And this is two rules I have with all my clients on the inside. I know this is a free live stream, but I feel so blessed to be able to do events like these on the inside of our programs here with you now as a free live, because women collaborating and connecting brings so much healing. And it's an opportunity to see all of the reflections and own them and dissolve them, because we are all one. Big deep breath. And so I want to thank you for all of the questions and the beautiful messages that you have sent in. I want to start by reading one of them and opening up this conversation. Everything is changing, and I know that everything happens for a reason. To everything there is a season, and that we are entering a time of massive awakening and spiritual consciousness. But I'm scared. I'm scared of losing people I love. I'm scared that while I know on a large scale everything will be okay and that we are divinely supportive, I'm afraid of things getting worse before they get better. I'm afraid that in order to make this shift, more structures and old mindsets will have to crumble. And I'm afraid of the pain, war, anger, fear, fighting, and cruelty that would inevitably come out of that. How do you stay hopeful for the future when the future looks dark? And how do you keep reaching out even when you know that everything around you could fall apart? How do you stay firmly in faith when everyone around you is screaming? Big deep breath. Let's talk about that. And first, as always, in all of our groups and live Q&As, I have 2 rules. This is a safe space for healing to occur. And my 2 rules to make this a safe container is number 1, no comparing yourself with anyone else here. I don't care how awake, how conscious you are, how business savvy you are, how many people you have on your email list, how many websites you have or don't have, how many certifications. I don't care about any of it. All I care about is that you feel safe to show up and be seen and heard and participate. Big deep breath. Thumbs up, no comparing yourself to anyone here. Rule number 2 is no competing with anyone else here. We rise together. The time of women in war against each other is like so 1990, man. It's like, it's just over. All I care about is that you show up. 90% of success is showing up. And instead of me talking words at you right now, explaining, I'd like to have an experience with you. So we did this on our live Q&A on Monday. It was a profound healing with one of our clients who said, I'm really afraid, Vanessa, of doing these videos and sharing my truth. And I don't know why. I've done so many programs that I am afraid. Similar to this guest's question, which we will address. And I had a guest speaker on our live Q&A, a dear friend of mine and colleague, Derek Hart, who I would do an injustice to tell you he's a relationship coach. I think he's a very emotionally evolved being on the planet. Helped me and my husband greatly, is still helping my husband and I greatly with our own communication and understanding. And he said, so let's do this. Let's not talk about this. Let's do this to this client on the live Q&A. Put your hand on your heart and say, I'm afraid. I'm really, really afraid. I'm really angry. And be in that. So there's a time of running away and being busy and busy, and hurry, hurry, hurry. And now is a time of like, stop all of that and be with that emotion. Big deep breath. So that's my invitation for you. If your emotion is a good one, if it's peace, be with that. If your emotion is anger, is fear, is rage, war, violence, doubt, stop, hands on heart. I am that, I am this. And allow yourself to be that. Now, the thing I know about emotions, and if you're just tuning in, my name is Vanessa Simpkins. I do run an amazing women's empowerment company called takeyourpowerbacknow.com. Most days I feel like I'm hanging on to a train going 500 miles an hour and that thing is taking me with it. So to say I run the company is kind of a joke. It's got its own heartbeat and its own momentum, and I feel very blessed and grateful to have the space for it to exist, or have birthed it to exist here. And I'm 41 years old. I would say 23 years of doing spiritual work, personal development work. The one thing I know about emotions is that they all actually want to leave. And in this process of conscious awakening and spiritual evolution, in our physical body, that's a channel for emotions, for love. We can't fill a space with something that's already there. So these lower emotions, and you can even call, love is really high. Peace and acceptance are really, really high up there. I mean, they're high. on the scale of emotional vibration. But when we're in fear and anger and doubt and uncertainty and control and all of these other lower states, you have to make space. You have to let that out. And the best way to do that is through acceptance. Yeah. So hands on your heart. I want to give you some tips and tools on how to actually do this, because I'm going to tell you guys something, man. I'm doing it too. I am an empath, oracle, channel, healer. Yeah, I'm pretty rad at fucking marketing copy and copywriting, but I basically am a channel. People show up in my programs and they ask me questions and I listen to them talk and talk and talk. And then all of a sudden I write down these real rad freaking program names and marketing pieces and people run off and become super successful. And what is that? Gift. It's channeling. And yet, I'm going to be really radically honest with you people. This is not easy. I have yet to see a unicorn or any pixie fairy dust sprinkled on me at this time. If you all have a different experience, let me know. This is hard fucking work, facing your shadows. So I want to share with you, the best way I know and what I've been sharing with our clients, which is to speak your truth with love. So step one, hands on your heart. I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, and let the emotion run through you. Don't get up and walk away. So the other day, I'm going to tell a story. And I promise I'm going to open up for live Q&A. We're going to address that question. And my intention is not to sit here and have a sales pitch for you guys on our programs at all. But if you do ask me questions, I have an obligation, a responsibility, because we have solutions for you to answer those. So I will do that too, if that is asked, okay? But I want to tell you, this is not my intention for these calls at all. The other day I went to the lake with the dogs to go for a walk. It is insanity in a house being quarantined with COVID-19 with 3 children, 2 who are teenagers, other guests in our house. So I go to the lake and I go to pull out of the car and get out of the car and get the dogs ready and do the busy thing, do the avoiding thing, and let me just keep moving away from this emotion of anger. And instead I said, you know what? I'm just going to fucking sit here. Warning, if foul language is something that really disrupts you, you should leave this call now. Please do not watch this presentation because I will not censor myself for anyone. FYI. I actually love myself more. And I think this is the state that we're all entering into, is a loving self so much. And the terror and the ripples that can happen and come from that. Oh, fuck, it's risky. It's healing really deep, old emotional wounds. That's what it is. But there's a way to do it. So let me tell you the story. So I go to the lake. I'm about to leave the car and do the busy thing. But I say, no, I'm just going to sit here, hands on my heart. And you know what? I'm really fucking angry. I'm so fucking angry. And then I started just rattling off about it. Angry at so many things. Maybe I'm angry because maybe my anger is, as the empath, feeling the anger of women being suppressed for fucking lifetimes and thousands of fucking years. Wow. Yeah, I'm angry about certain reflections in my family and things that happen in my marriage and things that are still happening in my daily life, things that happen in my business. Yeah, I'm angry about all those things. But even on another level, it's like, what is this? And I thought to myself, I should just do a fucking video of me actually in the fucking depth of my shit, and post that on fucking social media and let the fucking whole world judge it. But first, you better show me yours, motherfucker. I mean, how vulnerable, how safe is it for you to really be seen and heard? Is the question. And if there's anything I've ever done or I aim to do is really tell on myself. I'm not your guru. As a matter of fact, I have a problem with gurus who try and tell you to do this and do that. How about these gurus just teach you how to get in touch with your own truth? And you're in touch with your own power. So I started out in the car with anger, and then it moved to sadness. And then I got distracted and saw these, beautiful little kids running around outside. And then I actually felt good. The emotions through acceptance. I am this now. I'm not trying to avoid this. I'm not trying to eat this or soothe this feeling by doing something else. I'm actually loving myself by taking a moment here and being radically honest by myself and not trying to escape it and avoid it or project it out there onto other people to have to come back and repair later. So this kind of isolation quarantine thing right now is actually kind of, it's a fucking sharp sword and a soft heart. It's a blessing, and the holy smokes, is it a curse? So hands on heart, I feel this, let the emotion leave. So then there's space for something. Then there's space for love to come through your channel. Let love lead you. And that's not to say or to put fairy dust and unicorns on this terrifying, horrific experience of actually sitting still for a minute to feel the pain of those emotions. That's step one. Step two is being willing to be vulnerable, to share your truth with love to somebody else. And hopefully you get seen and heard and validated. The problem is most people are so wounded, they just trigger. One on bang, 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 bang. It's like fucking ping pong. That's a skill that we really aim to teach women here in our programs. And it happens in every single interaction, whether you're a healer, light worker, business owner, coach, consultant, speaker, mentor, you're in service business, you want to be in a service-based business, you're going to deal with relationships everywhere. Relationships with your clients, they need to feel validated, seen, and heard. Relationships with your team, they need to feel validated, seen, and heard. Relationships with your family, your kids, your spouses. And it's not a fucking tool that anybody, I have not seen it taught in any school. I have not seen it taught really anywhere. And it's critical. It's critical to know that somebody else cares about your pain. So big, deep breath. There's the love train again. I bought this house in Mount Shasta, and there's a train not too far away. It's a train town. So it's really interesting every time that love train goes off. So let's not make this time together be talking about things, but an experience about things. So I'm going to jump into the chat. How are you feeling? How are you feeling first and foremost? How are you feeling first and foremost? Pop that in the chat if you haven't already. Write this down. Practice that. And my second invitation for you is speak your truth with love. What would your truth, what is your truth right now that you would like to express in this safe space? What is your truth right now about maybe the pain or the fear that you have or the excitement? I mean, this is really exciting for a lot of people too. I got to tell you, I flip-flop between, It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. You know, it's exciting. The old must die in order for something new to be born. And at the same time, wow, so much change, so much uncertainty, but wow, it's going to be so much better. I truly believe that. So let's look at some of these feelings: defeated, overwhelmed, excited, frustrated, bubbling, lots of tears like boiling over the pot. Let them out. Excited, phoenix, carrying all of this stuff from the world, crying and cried. When I answer that, I cried and cried. Yeah, let yourself have that emotional release so that you can let it go and move. Even if you're actually in a state of somewhat okayness, there's a higher. As far as I'm concerned, you guys, if I'm still standing on planet Earth and I'm like still in my physical form, I didn't get there yet. Those fucking Mayans, poof, took off, man. They just poof, vaporized, okay? Yeah, I believe that we're going to see some incredible fucking technology come out here on the planet. Portals, we're going to hear about UFOs, the reptilians coming to take over the world, the dark forces in the government being arrested, an entire collapse and rebirth of our economic system. And thank fucking God, I never want to see anybody hungry. I never want to see anybody in poverty on this planet with so many resources that we have. So we're in a restructuring time right now, and it's fucking scary. I'm not going to pixie dust or fairy paint anything for you. But I want to let you know, in my belief, that if I'm still here in physical form, there's still more. There's still another level. Lots of moments in the past 2 years, feeling very inspired, feeling like a badass. 3 kids with one with special needs. Where's the next dollar bill coming from? So yeah, nervous, anxiety, questioning, disappointed about myself, longing to be successful. These are so good. You guys are doing so well. Oh my God, I love you so much for being so vulnerable here with us. Oh, this is the work. Risking being seen and heard. Lately, I cry a lot because I realize how much I didn't care for me, but so much for others. Oh, let me raise my hand on that one, man. Oof. You know why I love doing this work? It's a little bit selfish and a little bit unselfish at the same time. I get to process so many reflections of myself hosting these large mastermind groups for women. You know, I think to my purpose of like being this women's empowerment leader, it's a blessing, it's a curse. It's a double-edged sword, so much responsibility. But then I feel so blessed to be able to do this with women. I think that when women gather together, there is so much healing. Big deep breath. So thank you for being honest here. And at the same time, as we all clear our own reflections and dissolve them and say, I've been that projection that I'm placing on my mother, sister, brother, auntie, kids, whatever it is. I've been that too, that I want to blame out there. That's me too. Oh my God. That's the work, you guys. When we own that, when we take radical honesty, right? Let me speak my truth with love about what's going on for me. And let me tell you what, you guys, that's an ideal, because there are a lot of times when shit comes out of my mouth and it ain't loving at all. But the truth will set you free. And I practice really trying to have my own experience of the feeling and then talk about it later in a calm tense. I don't always get a passing grade with that, you guys. Yeah. The other thing I'm learning to do, and I've spent the better part of a year doing this, is in the private thoughts about what's going on or what I want to do or anytime you're in the future or in the past and you're not in the present moment, we're in separation. and stories, and then the emotions. Yeah. So things like breathing, meditation, calming, they are wonderful. You're going to download and channel a lot of information then, which again might stir up more fucking emotion to come out. It's like the never-ending onion. Does it ever end? I think so. Big deep breath. Lot of uncertainty, unraveling, getting out of the spiritual closet. Let's talk about that yesterday. Did we ever talk about this? I am shielding myself as when I wasn't shielding, I was physically sick. Emotionally, I'm shielding myself as when I wasn't shielding. I was emotionally sick. So here's the deal. We talked about this yesterday, actually, on our live Q&A. There was a woman who was a fantastic channel, and I said, you know what, you should just put yourself out there in a video and say, warning, I'm going to unveil, I'm going to reveal myself, you know, and she was a channel, an oracle, and I said, I'll take that reflection as well. I've been that. I can recognize my own terror and fear of what people might judge me, and oh my God, they'll crucify me. And another client tell me, I feel like I was a witch who was crucified. I'm like, shit, man, and maybe that happened to me too. The fear that comes from being visible. What are people going to think of me? What are people going to think of me? You know, a lot of people on social media give me shit for swearing. But again, I mean, this is just my self-expression. That's like a color. It's like the purple. It's like color purple pen for me. I wrote a book many years ago, and you know, the tagline was authenticity is a new currency in business. I don't know about that anymore. I think maybe connection is a new currency in business, life and business. But your authentic expression, we talked about a woman, one of our clients from Scotland, who says that societal and like federal and community laws and rules of self-expression, those are also being shattered. Something to consider right now. Was it safe for you to express yourself and your family? How safe was it? How safe is it now? How safe is it in society to speak your truth? All of that's being reworked. And I'll absolutely own that reflection as well. I've been terrified. I'm going to call myself a fucking channel and an oracle. My friends, people who really know me, they call me oracle all the time. On the inside of our programs, people talk and I take notes and I spit out, here's your program. Here's your marketing message. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. It's just their words reorganized. It doesn't need to be covered up in some business box. I've gone so far into the masculine business, and I've gone so far into the sacred spiritual business tribe worlds, and I think I'm maybe coming to my middle ground now. At 41 years old, never too late. Never too late to get in the game, you guys. This is the work showing up. No more school. People are celebrating. I feel hopeful. I'm anxious and excited despite what's happening, but I'm completely scrambled about how to put my stuff together and nervous to tell my story. But I feel like I'm going to do it just scared. Fuck it, but I need strategy, right? Okay, so let's talk about this strategy. It's so cool. Thank you for saying that. Here's a strategy, you know, a video that says, warning, I'm going to reveal myself. I mean, that is so like kryptonite curiosity based for a freaking headline for a video. There's no way anyone's going to scroll past that and not say, what is going on here? You know, and then risk telling people the truth. I have our clients sometimes in the very first video that they do when they're really terrified, I say, just grab your dog and make a video with like, hey, this is me and Houdini just saying hi. I'm terrified to do videos, by the way, but this is a challenge. I'm going to take it. So be nice to me. Just post that people love dogs and animals. So that might be a trial run. but for using, really, really being seen, there's some real terror there. It's bringing the story, bringing all of the wounding from childhood up to light to be healed is really what it is. How safe was it for you to be seen and heard? We do a lot of these work on reprogramming concepts of self and beliefs, how to look inside the mind and see what lives there. And then, own your feeling, radical honesty, risk sharing your truth with love so that the feeling can rid itself from the body, create space, and you can have a higher feeling emotion come up. So there's a strategy, an unveiling of truth. I'm going to reveal myself. I'm going to unveil the truth with you, unveil the truth about myself, ... And then your video. And you can tell people, listen, you guys, I've been doing this work for a long time in the closet. I don't care if you judge me. I care more about the people that I can help. So if you want to judge me, go right ahead or turn off this video. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to the people who actually need what I have to offer. And then tell the story. Back in 2000, I had this awakening. I had this story. Even today, as I started to talk and use words, it's like, scrap that shit. Let me tell you the story of my experience by the lake in the car with the dogs. It enters into people's subconscious stories as a way of connecting with them. And then just throw an offer out there like, listen, I'll do sessions with you guys over the phone. If you want help, reach out to me. Send me a private message here on the Facebook app. Let me know what questions you have. I'm making myself available. That's it. Start working with people. The recipe for cash flow is actually really simple. And I don't want to get into like religion or the Bible, but there's a big piece in the Bible about obeying, and it's not obeying the government or the powers and the fake freaking Illuminati and the freaking cabal and all those dark forces and the freaking rules. That's not the power I'm talking about. I'm talking about your higher power, whatever you want to call that. Obeying that wisdom and guidance. You will be rewarded for that. And the opposite is also true. Life is kind of fucking squeezing us like a toothpaste into our freaking purpose, man. Like a fucking toothpaste tube. Yes, pressure, man. I've had that too, man. I've had some wicked wake-up calls in my life. Maybe I'm going through another one now. It gets intense if we don't obey that higher power. If we resist it out of fear, or I don't know how, which is why this company exists and our programs exist to support women on such a variety of levels. That's really my absolute biggest joy, to see women following their purpose and honoring their truth, speaking their truth, sharing their light and their love with the world, and prospering, with their families. I'm going to keep reading these questions. I so thank you guys. There's like over 80 comments here in the queue. We have over 70 people here live. Last week we had like 140 people. We had like 400 people last week sign up for this call. I'm so grateful for you guys. We're going to send out the replays and post this also on YouTube. And I was supposed to actually stream this on YouTube and I forgot. Next week I will. Two boys are at home loving seeing who they are and who they are during the day. So loving being with your children. This is wonderful. Yeah. As all of this falls away, all the busyness falls away, you have more time to do the things that you want to be doing, connecting, enjoying, playing a puzzle, going out for walks. Here in Mount Shasta, people are out golfing, they're walking in nature, This is beautiful. I'm grateful. Debbie says, I feel like I'm stuck in labor and the baby is refusing to be born. Stuck. Oh my God. Big deep breath. That must be scary. Yeah, like a spiritual labor here coming to fruition. My goodness. Catherine, it's a time for us to speak our truth and be heard. It's weird that we are not able to speak our truth. Is this the was? That's the was. Thank you, Jennifer. She love you so much. Stuck. I want to help, but can't seem to find my lane. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the lanes of coaching or mentorship. And a lot of people struggle with this, with their message. Yeah. With like, what am I actually selling? What am I actually doing? And people buy certain things. Okay. And one of the people buy 1 of 10 things. And I want to share with you, we have a whole PDF about this. So I'll share the PDF about this. It's a blueprint, but it has the 10 things that people buy in there. And I'll pass it out here with the replay. I also want to share with you guys this radical self-care PDF that I cooked up last week. And we sent it out in an email. And I'm going to pop it here in the chat for you guys as well. That's another thing I wanted to make sure you guys have access to. I am not a nutritionist, but I wanted to share with you some of the things. This is not, health advice. Okay, this is just, consume, read, do at your own risk. Okay, I am not your guru. I'm just sharing with you things that I've found useful and helpful at this time, information of this quarantine and COVID-19. So there's the self-care PDF, the 10 things that people buy, one of them, there's health, there's love, there's making money, saving time. There's also avoiding emotional pain is one of those things on that list. And I think a lot of people right now are going through a tremendous amount of uncertainty. I mean, we see it here, no judgment, no criticism. There's never any judgment or criticism on the inside of our programs, by the way. That's the safe space to do your inner healing work. So then you can show up and, apply all this cool ninja Facebook ads stuff and email marketing and all that cool stuff. But first, you've got to work through all that emotional stuff. So I always love to start off our clients with a 30-day video challenge. And the way that we do it is basically just holding an iPhone here, selfie style, shoot a video, and you can shoot the video 30 times if you need to, the same video until you like it, and then just post that one. And what are you sharing video topics about? Well, about your perspectives, about stories, a time when you learned something, you overcame something challenging, maybe a story that you helped somebody out, or a case study story with a client, or a belief, or an experience, or an aha, an awakening that you had at the gas station. I mean, now with all these Instagram stories and Facebook stories, it's really interesting. People are just tooling around showing their life. Even the kids are doing TikToks and they have an Instagram live in the kitchen and they're just cooking in the kitchen. And I'm like, well, what are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, we're just on live and our friends are on live. And like, they're not really saying anything or doing anything, but just letting people see them in daily life. It's so radical to me. Like, what's the point of all this here? I think to myself, teenagers, what are you doing? But it's just, hey, here I am. For business, however, I think people really do want to see who you are and who the brand is and what's your, just normal life. But start with a simple video, even with your dog if you're afraid, and then try a video a day for 30 days where you share a story, where you share a tip, where you share how you overcame something, once when you helped somebody, hard time you work through, nuggets of wisdom, inspiration. People need hope more than ever. That was a big awakening for my business when I, was trying to crack that 10K a month and, help more women and make more money for my family and myself. Absolutely. I did this program and the mentor was like, what would you do all day long for free and that you're really good at? And everyone says you're like the bomb at it. And I was like, bah, I'd tell stories and I'd inspire people. And I was like, but nobody pays money for that. Are you kidding me? That's all I do, you guys. I tell on myself. I tell stories. I share inspiration. I share things I get ideas about, channel about. Some of it's some cool rad marketing and sales stuff because I'm into that. I'm really into like what drives human behavior and change and transformation. I'm really into that. So these are some really great questions. Mine are poop stories. That's hilarious. Somebody says people try to eat papaya fruit with lime. That's helpful. Well, it does clean your gut. But I have another question. Dawn's got a great question. Hey, Dawn. She said, I was in your 8-week and I worked with you in your year-long and I was doing it from an authentic place and burnt out. So I lost my voice. I literally couldn't speak. I lost my voice for a week. Yeah, that'll happen. I had to do some major deep inner healing and now I'm gearing up to start again. But I'm noticing that I'm really scared. I'm scared to feel that burnt out again. I'm scared I won't have the words. I'm scared people won't like my new, more authentic message. I'm scared to re-enter the arena. How do you find the courage to step back in? What a great question. And it's scary. Transformation is like very courageous work, you guys. Why do you think the rest of the world brushes their teeth with Colgate and fucking eats McDonald's and zones out to TV? It's fucking hard work, man. It is not for the faint-hearted. This is why I'm so grateful for all of you love leaders, light workers, healers, channels. The world needs you actually more than ever right now to like just ripple that love. This whole planet has like a Schumann's resonance, a vibrational field. This is actually more important than anything. I've been watching some pretty far out there stuff with David Wilcock. You guys want to search him on YouTube, some really interesting things being brought to light about extraterrestrial forces and a lot of technology being hidden from us as a human race. So we might all just poof like the Mayans sooner than later. But I want to answer this question. How do you find the courage? You know, it's interesting. Life is so interesting because we have these experiences and then we learn from them. We have the lesson. We might have a scar like, oh my God, I don't want to get burnt out like that again. And then we can make our decisions based on that past fear happening again. And I think oftentimes it will recreate the same experience. So the real work is to shoot for that fuck yeah joy. Like, what is that? What is that? And connect with that state without the separation of, but how am I going to get there? It's so far from where I am now. Because when you connect to that fuck yeah joy, this is what it is that I really want, that I feel so called to have, that desire. When you really merge into it and say, this is it, this, you move into that state, and the universe realigns to give you, usually it's a perception shift, and boom, the idea happens, the video, boom, it's just so, a friend calls you and says, you know what, I really need your help and pays you money. I mean, you know this. I'm not even telling you guys anything new. You've all experienced this. What if you could do it consistently? Yeah. This is a big part of taking your power back now, overcoming fear and thriving. It's hard to do. I get caught up in that too. That's why running the emotion step 1 is necessary, for there to be even enough space for you to then pivot and say, okay, Now that emotion is done and I'm not recycling it or avoiding it or projecting it and having to face it. Now that it's done, then there's space. As a matter of fact, I don't even have to think of what the fuck yeah joy is, because in that space, I'll get the answer. And sometimes the answer is to call this person. Sometimes love leads you to watch this video. How did you wind up watching this live Q&A, you guys? You know what I mean? People tell me all the time, oh my God, I clicked a Facebook ad and you showed up, and oh my God, I knew I had to work with you. It was like a sign. Of course, love is leading all of us to the extent that we allow it to. So I'm going to go like way back to the beginning of this whole thing, because I don't even know if I've finished answering the original question. And now we're like 47 minutes in here, so my apologies. The original question was, how do you go through all of this challenging, painful times? It's exciting. Everything is changing, and I know that everything happens for a reason. To everything there is a season, and that we are entering a time of massive awakening in spiritual consciousness. But I'm scared. I'm scared of losing people I love. I'm scared that while I know on a large scale everything will be okay and that we are divinely supported, I'm afraid of things getting worse before they get better. I can own all of that, you guys. I've definitely felt that way. I'm afraid that in order to make this shift, more structures and old mindsets will have to crumble. And I'm afraid of the pain, war, anger, fear, fighting, and cruelty that would inevitably come out of that. This is so valid. It's a fear of change, yeah. How do you stay hopeful for the future when the future looks dark? You know what I do, guys? I go out into nature. I calm my mind. I try and be as loving and compassionate with myself as I possibly can be. First, and sometimes being loving and compassionate to myself means just saying no to everything else. Right now, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to, give myself a breath. As my friend Sylvie would say, give myself a moment. Can I just have a moment? That's okay. Go into nature, let the sun on your body, calm your mind, listen to a beautiful meditation music. I've sent you guys in that PDF link, links to some of my favorite songs on YouTube, meditation music, some supplements that I've been taking. Somebody here mentioned on the questions about this is a time of healing your pineal gland, of awakening your pineal gland. I actually started taking this supplement called monatomic gold, which is supposed to do something for that. Any day now, the UFOs could land on my front yard, man. Who knows? I'm taking it one day at a time myself. How do you keep reaching out even when you know that everything around you could fall apart? Well, this is the vulnerability piece and the courage piece. So I'm talking about. Remember that love is kind, love is patient, and love is understanding. And, one of the things that I found helpful is I used to be somebody who would like make such fast decisions and just bang, 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 bang. And now I'm actually unwilling to do that, obviously, unless I get guidance and this is the truth. If I'm stuck, what I'll do is I'll approach the person or the situation that I'm stuck with and I'll say, hey, are you open to creating this space for us to chew on ideas and explore a way to find a solution for this? Because I don't have the answer right now. All I know is that something needs to change about this, and I'm willing to explore it with you. Are you willing to do that with me? And then it's like you just create a container for you to kind of look around and navigate together what that fuck yeah joy is. That's what I've done. And It's really helped. Oh, you guys, does it ever get easier? I think you learn new tools. I know I have Colgate too, Janet. I think you learn new tools, and what gets easier is as for me, I'll speak about myself. What gets easier is that I've done this before. I think we've all been preparing, you guys, like our whole lives. How amazing that we chose to be born at this time. I mean, it's incredible that we've been born at this time of humanity. Why weren't we born at another time? Why are we here now? We're born for this, you guys. We're born for this. So does it ever get easier? I think what gets easier is when I look back on my past and I look at the times when I went through radical transformation, radical change. And the one thing I've done is trust my intuition or my higher power. That's how I built this entire company, you guys. And when we're so disturbed in the lower emotions, it's like we have a puddle. You've heard me say this before. And you have a stick and you stir the puddle up. And now it's muddy and you can't see through the water. But sometimes when you walk and you see a puddle and it's calm, and you can actually see right through the water. You can see every little detail. And that's like our mind and our emotional body. When things are calm, we can hear intuition. And that's love leading you. And it will take you everywhere you want to go. That's my truth. That's my truth. The work is uncovering the wounds and the old stories that are still actually lodged in the physical body as a form of pain, or in the mind as these like regurgitating stories that bring up emotion that you just cycle around, and that has to be restructured and reorganized. And I covered last week how some of the ways that we help our clients with that. You can do this. Staying away from negative shows right now. Yeah, it's good to, I struggle sometimes. I want to be informed. I definitely do not watch the news. I don't trust the media as far as I can throw them, which is not far. I think most of the media out there is just fake news. And I will not actually let a newspaper into my hotel room. When you go to a hotel or like a resort, they give you the newspapers. I tell them, I call the front desk, do not put newspapers even in my space. Refuse to have that even shit in my space. I haven't watched the news, haven't watched real TV. I'll watch movies, but TV in years. We don't have like cable or stuff like that. Yeah, look to creatives like musicians that inspire us. Tom Petty. Taking your power back is hard. I had to play the pro se lawyer against my perpetrator, still waiting for a sign to determine the next step. Sometimes being loving is also saying, you can't do that anymore to me. That's enough. I have been so crucified. Oh, fuck. Even by clients. But I mean, there's like, let's be honest, you guys. I'm again telling myself. I've had court cases with clients, with women. People that have been served so much and maybe just, refused to take responsibility for themselves, or just refused that, just no, It's kind of like a bag of apples. You can have like thousands of apples, but to think that there's not a rotten one in that pile is kind of silly, you know? And I send these people so, so, so much love. I don't need to ever name names, but we've, you know, where there is a lot of light, there is a lot of darkness. And it rattled our team and our company. We've had to deal with some pretty shitty things, unpleasant things, you know. Client care is super important for us, but you know, you're never going to be an avocado and please everybody. So sometimes being really loving to yourself is saying, nope, that was wrong. You're not going to do that again. You know, sometimes that is the path that love leads you, and that's okay. So, I mean, I can see both sides of it. You know what I mean? Even on these, you know, upset people's side, I can see that. What I find is really, you know, silly is people who want to make hate videos. If you would just make at least they're using the process, you know, to be visible. If you would just like shift into love and your own expression, you'd actually have a business instead of just spewing and regurgitating projection and hatred. But everyone's in their process of awakening. Kyla says, I'm connected to my Fuck Yeah Joy and Purpose and I want to launch my group program, but I'm wondering how to get social media so people see my value. We have a 90-day program now. Our 10K and 30-day program is actually a 90-day mastermind. You can find out more about it on our website. We help people with finding their lane, finding their ideal target, what problems they solve for profit, how to, you know, I give you guys a 100-page social media offer Bible. I call it the offer Bible. So some of the best posts that we've used in the last 10 years. It's made our clients quite a lot of money. So proven things that work for visibility strategies, Facebook ads, how to create your program, how to really take apart your mind and all the old stories and beliefs, how to take your power back now and thrive. Sales is in there. It's really like a very well-rounded program. And I'm not going to take a ton of time to get into the details, but I'll just put the website here for you guys to go and check it out. And if you want to apply, there's a place there. Sharon said she fired her client. I love this. She said it was the most empowering thing I ever did. I felt so much lighter afterward. I told myself no one will ever treat me that way again. I love it. Good for you. Constant empath, dizzy spells, feeling humanity right now. Yeah, I feel you. So even just feeling very lost, yeah, let yourself feel that and let that run its course and leave. So, you know, all of these reflections that are coming up, you know, whether you're taking people to court or you're raging war with somebody in your family, one of the other pieces that I can share with you that is it's very fucking difficult, but it's the only thing that's been able to help me really dissolve reflections and projections, is to own that part of me where I have been that. And it's pretty impossible. It's almost impossible to think that I'm so upset. So I'll give you an example. We have a 15-year-old daughter she's a 15-year-old. Okay, remember when you were 15? I was not an easy teenager by any means. I'm actually going to call my mom and apologize again today, because I'm seeing that reflection now and it is fucking wild. So all of the things I can say, you know, disrespectful, lying, only thinks of herself. I've been all those things. Oh, fuck yeah. And then some. This is called karma, which now I don't want to say that this is your karma, so-and-so who's dealing with this lawyer person. I'm also going to tell you another perspective. So the other perspective I take when I'm in a pile of shit and it smells like shit and it looks like shit and it feels like shit, the chances are I'm in a pile of shit. Now, it smells like shit. It feels like shit. I'm not going to lie about that. Okay? But I also know that that pile of shit makes some fucking rad, beautiful, blossoming flowers. And that's, I think, a big reason why a lot of women come to work with us here at Take Your Power Back Now. A lot of them come in that like, wow, I've either processed a lot of that shit or I'm on the other side of it or I'm smack in the middle of it. And it's your purpose trying to squeeze you out of a toothpaste to get into it, to start using that shit. You know, how you get out of it becomes your service to the world. I know this without a shadow of a doubt. So if you're in a pile of shit, smell the shit, feel the shit, you know what I mean? This is shit. And then get ready, man, because you've got a big purpose, and it's to share that light, to share your experience, to share your way out with people, to liberate humanity. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's scary. I'm not gonna sit here and be one of these fairy fucking gurus for you people. I'm not gonna be your guru. I'm not gonna have any unicorns dancing around me here. There's no fairy dust. There's just real and raw, couple freaking pencil colors of, you know, purple expression here and there, and real compassion and understanding for your process. And I just love you for it. Like, oh my God. And I want to support you as much as I can. There's so many amazing questions here. I want to be able to read all of them and connect with each and every one of you. So it's more fun and easier. I trust my higher power too. It's taken over 38 years of forging ahead for you to have it easier than how I do it. This is how I know you're not my guru. I am that I am. We can Zoom, or where do I send you a Zoom? Speaking that I am ready to do. Send out like you this to you. I am not an authority on anything except my God-gifted path. Yeah. Yep. Everyone has, and without a big team, how the heck can I risk this and not ruin my commitment for you? How do I get? So I'm not so clear about that question, but it sounds like I think there was a question there about how do you get started if you don't have a big team? Again, that 30-day video challenge is how I really started it all out. Yeah. And that's right. I am that I am. Whatever you claim yourself to be, you are. Mm-hmm. Yep. Anything you put after the words I am, you become. How do I succeed when the odds are stacked against me? Let's say your Facebook ads get shut down. I haven't been able to tweak anything in my, so there's a big process of surrendering, you guys. And you know, sometimes life is like, nope, you're not gonna work. Nope. You're just gonna sit there and deal with your stuff. You know, and you can fight and push and push and push, but that never really leads you. So I would ask the question, you know, what is it that I need to see right now about myself that I'm not seeing? And that's one avenue. And I always look at like two avenues. The other avenue is, well, how can I get this thing turned on? Or just start another Facebook account. You know how many times I've had to do that in my lifetime? You don't even want to know. Adversity. In times of adversity, this was a video that I watched by Eckhart Tolle last week. So powerful. In times of adversity, it really forces you to go deep down within and find your connection, your intuition. what's going to drive you, what's going to lead you forward. And that's really the most important thing that you can do for yourself. People have been hiding out for a few weeks because of this pandemic. Yeah, there's actually a lot more people that die from the flu than this thing. And they've done a bell curve and the numbers are really going down. It's great to stay, you know, I would say go outside in nature, you know, don't go around so many people. But that's also, you know, being led by fear and the media. There's actually, you know, our numbers in the US are not very high at all. And yet there is this virus that has been created and man-made and sent out there with the intention to control humanity. There's going to be a lot of darkness coming to light, a lot. I want to know about it. I don't want to be in the dark about it. But I also don't want to be fear-mongered and ruled by like just a never-ending stream of information. Tenny says, what is your take on money? That's a freaking great loaded question. Ask me more specific question about it so I can understand. I'll be happy to answer that. My go-to is to stay in my Pisces dream state for too long during times of chaos. And I got to get out of my dream state and take action. Well, if your higher power is telling you go and take action, then absolutely, that's, you know, if that's true for you. Big deep breath. How are you feeling now? How are you feeling now? How are you feeling now? Let's go. I'm just happy to hear open comments about the virus. How do you expand your capacity to receive? That's a great question. I'm confused about going within and being visible at the same time. Any tips on getting clarity on this? You know, there's some really rad, and you guys can find so much free stuff on my YouTube channel. I would definitely go and take a twirl around. We have a ton of tips on the YouTube channel about how to use social media, how to use the video challenge. Also that PDF checklist, again, I'll share it with you guys there. Some tips for going within, for using meditation, song, yoga, for running the emotions out of the physical body. I would definitely take a look on that YouTube channel. Karen has a great comment. She goes, do all with integrity, honesty, and keep your morale and ethics intact no matter how much you are tempted to deviate. That's my take. Yeah. How do you expand your capacity to receive? This is a really great question. So I'm going to talk about this because somebody asked a question about money. You know, our minds are creative things, but we never really taught how to use it. And money is, there's a really cool freaking channeled audio by Sarah McCrum, and it's on Audible, and it's called Love Money and Money Loves You. Check it out. It's on Audible by Sarah McCrum, and it's called Love Money and Money Loves You, and it's a channeled piece where she says that money is actually an energy and it wants to bless you, but it has to be used and invested and sent out, and it can't be hoarded and kept in. And a lot of people have just negative connotations to money. Now, I have my own take on money, which is in my own healing of money. And I've been bankrupt in 2006, had to start this business, Take Your Power Back Now, from grassroots, nothing, no rich daddy, you know, built it. You know, we've done we've helped thousands of women around the world in the last 10 years. But I started out with like a bankruptcy, failure, failure, failure as an online marketer, as an entrepreneur, because I didn't understand technology, didn't understand sales and marketing. I was clueless, didn't know what my lane was, didn't know what to offer, all those problems. I had them all. I invested in stupid websites and all these magazines and publishing books. It was like none of it brought me success and clients. Like later down the road, okay. But it was like I did the wrong things at the wrong time. I just didn't know, which is another reason why we've created this 10K and 30-day mastermind and the Wealthy Coach Academy and our Bikini Business Mastermind programs to really, show women not just like 1-2 step, but like, let's take you all the way from here to now you have clients and and money in the bank. Let's work on all your inner stuff. Let's work on your messaging. Let's work on your marketing. Let's work on your program. Let's work on your sales skills. Let's work on your mindset some more. Let's work on doing live videos. Let's work on building your email list. Let's work on launching a mastermind once you've had a couple clients. It's like full gamut, full spectrum. Because I wished I would have had that. So here's my take on money. In my own healing, and we talk about this, closing your energy leaks, going through the disappointments exercise. This is in module 1 of the 10K and 30-day program and the Wealthy Coach Academy. Is I realized that I had so much disappointment and failure, and that feeling, that low vibration, is what I had attached to this concept of money. And so a big part of the healing journey and the healing process was actually to do this disappointments exercise. There's a great book by a woman named Christine Hassler. It's called The Expectation Hangover. That book was a game changer for me. It changed my life. And I kind of put my own spin on this idea with a different process, but the idea of, we have these lofty ideals about our family or about a business or an expectation, and when it doesn't happen, we have this really low vibration disappointment experience. And so how do you move through that energy of disappointment? How do you clear it from your energetic grid so that more love, higher vibration love, peace, acceptance can come through? And I believe it's the same things with the stories we have around money. We've attached these energetic disappointment or experiences or stories around this energy that wants to come and bless you, called money. And you can have really as much as you want. Money comes from, value created. It comes to bless you when you obey and live your purpose and serve. That's when it comes. Yeah. And when you believe that you deserve it. So we're all meaning-making machines, and I'll be the first one to tell you that there's nothing outside of yourself that tells you can or you can't have. It's all just you, and your consciousness deciding, I am this now, I am that now, I can have this, I can't have that. It's a big topic. That's a great question. Yeah, what is your relationship with money? Is a great question. You guys, I'm so freaking stoked that you guys are all here and participating. Thank you for all of these incredible comments and participation and just showing up with this soul sister energy. I wish I had the bandwidth or the brain capacity or the speed to like read and share all of this on the video. It's just outstanding. Yeah. Yeah, I think I can see, Fanny, I can see your comments as well. There's just so many comments in here. I'd love to be able to, answer each one individually, but there's just so many of them. They kind of fly by. So this, it's a great comment, you know, and I think this really is the whole crux of it, working on hanging with love, since he, she also is pure success. Only love is successful. And that's really all we have to do right now, is be loving. There's nothing actually else to do. The do kind of is like, that's over now. It's be. And when you let love lead, you know, you are you know, inspired with intuition, with the next step, with the right idea, with the right thing to say to somebody maybe you're having a challenging confrontation or discussion with, or idea about. It's, you know, Marianne Williamson wrote a great book about returning to love. It really is the only thing that's real. I got it tattooed on my arm in case I forgot. Real love is the only thing that's real. My husband and I both have that tattooed on our arm. Big deep breath, you guys. Thank you for being here. Big deep breath. I love you guys. I hope you have enjoyed this live stream. We'll post it up on YouTube as well. We'll send you guys the replay. Please share it with anybody you think could benefit. If you have a friend or a soul sister or a woman who needs this kind of community. We're going to be doing this every week on Thursdays. I was supposed to stream it live today on YouTube, but next week I will remember to do this. Vanessa so enjoyed this. How would you say I go about connecting people to opportunities in online jobs? That's a great question. I'm so glad there's going to be a replay. Me too, you love leaders. And please do register again for next week. Please do bring your questions, and please do put them in when you register, because I read them before. And, you know, I wonder how I can answer each one of you. They're so rad. They're just amazing. So thank you so much for showing up, for being this light in the world right now, for risking being seen and heard. Keep being courageous. Keep being that energy of love right now on the planet. The world needs you now more than ever, as we all awaken, you know, go through this global awakening together. It's really, really important. And I know more will be revealed, you know, one day at a time. This session is called Love Leaders Unite. And I'm Vanessa Simpkins from Take Your Power Back Now, saying, I love you. Have an amazing day. And remember, real love is the only thing that's real. Love you, rock stars.